Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wedgwood Community Church this morning. We are thrilled to have our regular folks here, and we welcome visitors, and we are thrilled if you are listening in at a later time during the day or the week. But we're just glad to always be together on Sunday mornings. And I will turn it over to Liz first for our announcements.
Thank you, Melba. Okay, so we have just a few announcements and upcoming events this morning. Next Sunday, our very own Melba Evans will be talking about true love just in time for Valentine's Day. So you don't want to miss that. It's going to be a wonderful talk. Melba, did you want to say anything about what you've got planned for next Sunday?
No, not really. Just come with a lot of love in your heart.
Wonderful. And the following Sunday on February 20th, we have the History of Sweet Baskets, Drums, and Dance, a Black History Month celebration with Ashanti Munir and Professor Bradley Simmons from Duke University. And February 27th, we have Never Going Home Again, the Criminal Justice System Locking Up Black Lives with Sharif Ingram. So we've got some really exciting and meaningful and powerful talks coming up this month, so you don't want to miss them. And if you feel so moved to share a part of your personal story, to share a life experience or a lesson, or even maybe have a speaker suggestion to come in and give a talk on a Sunday morning, please contact the church or Melba, and we will definitely work with you to get that on the schedule. We'd certainly love to have you. Well, the Wedgwood Community Garden is gearing up for spring planting. I had put out the call for seeds to donate to our spring garden. However, a generous donor has donated so many seeds, so we are in a really good spot. And now we're just, actually this afternoon, I'm gonna go ahead and start planting them so we can get the sprouts growing. And then in a few weeks when it warms up, we'll be able to actually plant them in the beds to get them growing for the community garden. So if anybody would like to, join us for the planting and getting the beds ready for the planting and, maintenance over the spring and summer and fall, we would love to have you. And our community garden continues to, our community food pantry continues to need support. We have definitely been rather skint since the holiday season is over. We have a lot of empty bins and a lot of need because folks still need food. So please consider donating either financially to the food pantry or by donating any of the items listed. Our Social Justice Book Club's next meeting will be on Thursday, February 10th at 7 p.m. They continue to read Say Their Names, How Black Lives Came to Matter in America by Patrice Gaines. If you want to participate in the upcoming session, please make sure that you have read through pages 251. And connect with us. We are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we have a website. You can also email us or call us, and we will certainly get back to you. And a friendly reminder that we have many, many, many more updates in the newsletter. We try to keep the Sunday morning announcements and events pretty short and sweet, so you definitely want to check out our newsletter if you want to stay up to date on everything we've got going on in the community and here at Wedgwood. So if you would like to get that newsletter and you don't already, you can email the church at wedgwood.church@yahoo.com. You can also sign up through our website as well. And we are here to help. Wedgwood has 3 staff members that do our best to kind of keep the church running and to do whatever is needed. So we have Melba, who's the ministerial coordinator. I'm the community outreach coordinator, and Ashanti is the music coordinator. And feel free to call us or email us, and we will get in touch with you. And we also ask that you continue to give to the church to support our work, both here and in the community. You can mail your donations, you can give through Venmo, you can also give through PayPal or Zelle. Thank you so much. And next up, we have our prelude.
Better days are coming, and what a beautiful voice by Mackenzie Thomas as she sings to a friend in the hospital to give hope and encouragement. And we all certainly need that hope and encouragement. And thank you, Raquel, for sharing that video with us. It's very inspiring. Thank you. And now our extravagant welcome.
We are all welcome here. Welcome to a church that works for peace, justice, equality, and the care of Mother Earth. An extravagant welcome to you because of your gender identification, sexual orientation, ethnicity, economic situation, physical and mental challenges, doubting or believing, being depressed or full of joy. We are a community of curious and creative spiritual seekers striving to learn and embody the way of Jesus and other spiritual leaders. Like Jesus, we focus on the plundered and the marginalized as we try to address the major issues of our day. One of the ways we seek to heal the world and ourselves is through sharing parts of our personal story. We are all welcome here.
We are all
Welcome here.
Our words of wisdom this morning come from a well-known person, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Kind hearts are the gardens. Kind thoughts are the roots. Kind words are the flowers. Kind deeds are the fruits. Take care of your garden and keep out the weeds. Fill it with sunshine, kind words, and kind deeds. Good advice for all of us. And now our moment for all ages. If there's any children around, I want us to think for just a minute about rules. Everywhere we go, there are rules that we have to follow. There are rules at work. There's even rules in our homes that we follow. There are rules when we're driving down the street that we have to follow. What are some of the rules that you can think of that we probably all have to follow or have in our homes?
Some rules are unspoken, not really written down. Like not a rule, but something that you should be mindful of is to just be courteous and kind and decent to people.
Yes.
Whether you know them or you don't know them, they come in your path by doing your everyday activities. Just be good to people and care for people. It's not a rule, but it's part of the golden rule, which is an unwritten rule.
Do you remember rules when you were growing up that people said, if you open it, close it. If you mess it up, clean it up. There was a whole list of those types of things that I think we probably really said to our children when they were growing up, that I can recall some even being said to me, almost in a little rhyme to remember what you needed to do. I was going to have the children this morning pretend to put on a crown and be a king for a few moments. And if you were king, what rules would you enforce? What rules would you have? Think of one that you might like to have if you were the king for the day.
Everyone has to do something for another person. Everyone has to show an act of kindness.
Good.
For a week. A whole week, everyone has to just do a random act of kindness every single day, maybe twice a day.
Would say everybody has to reach out to somebody they haven't talked to in over 3 months.
Good.
Or how about the old one of when you walk into the room, acknowledge the people that are in it?
Yes. Think of any others?
Don't litter. Don't litter. Do not litter. I hate littering. Do not litter for 3 months. Recycle.
Yes. I totally agree with that one.
And
Well, there are a number of rules that we would like to enforce if we could. But there's one rule that kind of shines above all of them that is often called the golden rule. And it's an important rule, and it's a rule that pretty much reaches across religions, across cultures. It's not always followed, and that's the sad thing. We see so often that people don't follow that rule. And it's the golden rule that says, do unto others as you would have them do unto me. Think about that for a minute. Before you act or react even to another person, think about, is that the way I would want them to act or react to me? For me, I think the acting is easy, but sometimes the reacting can be difficult. I'll tell you a funny story about my son. Teacher called one day, he was in about second grade, and said that Mark and another little boy had kind of gotten into it at school, and Mark had hit the little boy had hit Mark. So when Mark came home, I talked to him about it, and he said, well, Mom, in Sunday school, we talk about doing to others as you would have them doing to you. And he hit me. Well, I figured he wanted me to hit him. Well, not exactly. That's not exactly what we mean. And we don't want to read that into it. But it was kind of hard to come back and say, what do you say? Your reasoning's a little messed up. So sometimes we have to really think about when somebody has not done to us as we wish they did, how do we respond and follow that golden rule? So let's keep that in mind this morning as we think about a good heart, having a good, clean heart towards other people. And now our celebrations and concerns. And first of all, we have some things, people that need to be remembered in prayer. And one is Chris Ayers. Chris is in mourning today because the Dukies beat Carolina good last night.
It was a slaughter.
So we know he's and Vicky are in mourning today. So we want to remember them. And some of us here will say, go Dukies. But we remember you, Chris, today as you mourn.
Yeah, but at least it was just basketball.
Just basketball. Okay. Just a game, right, Vicky? Okay, we do have some more serious needs this morning. We want to remember Donna Carter, as she is in hospice. She's had a friend with her this week, but the friend has gone home.
Oh,
but we want, but will be coming back in a few weeks. But we want to remember Donna and lift her up. And I had a request about Donna in the newsletter and also in the email I sent. So I hope we can all follow through with that and let her know how much we love and care about Donna. She's been a member here since the early 1900s. And if you want to see Donna, she was a professional comedian. Just go on YouTube and put in Donna Carter, and you will get some of her routines up. She's performed across the country, all over the nation. She's performed at Comedy Zone in Charlotte. So just Google that sometime and she'll give you a good laugh. So, and she's still making people laugh. Every time I talk to her, somehow she makes me laugh about something. So we want to remember Donna this morning. We want to remember Brad, Betsy's brother. Betsy, any update?
We are in the thick of it. Your prayers are needed to just carry him through. His throat is raw and swollen, and like I have to be, we don't even know sometimes if a vanilla shake will irritate it. I'm crushing pills. I'm crushing everything in a pureer. So we're in it. And they expected that to be. Now, the good news is on Tuesday, he has 10 treatments left. So instead of, like I've been reporting on the page, hey, 10 treatments, blah, 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 I'm just going to do a countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The hard part is they expect these symptoms to continue or even worsen for 2 weeks after radiation. It is the process. So we are grateful. We're 10 days left, and we're carrying on as best we can. Thank you. Please keep praying him through it.
We certainly will. And today we want to celebrate. Naj moved into a new apartment, so we are so happy and excited for that. I know she's excited too, isn't she, Ashanti?
She is. She's overwhelmed right now because, you know, when you move in, boxes and things are everywhere and you can't find, you know, whatever you need. But I told this, relax, you're in your spot. But yes, but she's, you know, and I'm thankful that nothing happened, like, you know, physically, because moving is stressful and she has MS and you never know what the reaction would be. So I'm thankful that it's completed. I'll be up there on Friday, and I'm very thankful that I'm relieved. I'm relieved.
Awesome.
Trying to
We
do
are
things
too.
at home. Thank
We're
you.
all
Thank you for
very
your prayers. I appreciate you.
And happy too. And Erin McCory, who is Laura's family, do we have any updates there? She's just waiting. Is that?
Right, yeah, there's no update. She's just home recuperating until her heart attack symptoms have abated so they can do some more surgery. Thank you.
And we want to remember Connie's friend, Dr. Wright, who Connie informed us this morning is still going through the horrible, horrible brain fog related to COVID on her third breakthrough with COVID. And we also want to remember Gloria Perkins, who just lost her partner, Dawn, who lives next door to Connie. Connie, did you want to say anything in relation to either one of those?
No, other than he's at peace. He was a good man, lived a wonderful life, and gave a lot to a lot of people. So one thing about it, we can't escape death, and he is in a better place.
Are there any others, celebrations or requests?
Yeah, I get my license next Friday.
Congratulations.
So thank you.
What kind of license?
Which license is that?
The driver's license.
Oh,
okay.
maybe we need to pray for ourselves, Mariah.
Right. Look, hey, look, everybody get off the road. I'm on there.
We're going to pray for all the people on the road next week.
All right.
That's awesome. I know you'll pass the test and you'll do great, and that's going to really help you in life with your mobility.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. Any others?
I would just ask that we pray for wisdom on all the school boards across the nation as people are banning books and complaining about books, and it's just, we need leaders who have wisdom.
Yes, and not wanting to teach history as history is factually true. And I saw this week Oklahoma is restricting what can be taught in biology classes because it can't go against what Christian children are taught at home. And oh my goodness, yes, that's a huge prayer need. Any others? Then let's have a few moments of quiet for you to use as prayer time, if that's what goes with your beliefs. meditation time, self-reflection, or just a quiet few moments? Amen. And now it is my pleasure to turn the service over to Raquel. Raquel is a member of Wedgwoodian, a true Wedgwoodian, and always brings us a message that we need to hear. So Raquel, I turn it over to you.
Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. I'm excited to speak to you today. Just to give you a little bit of background, these words created me a clean heart, oh God. I'm telling you, they have been whispering to me in my subconscious for several weeks. It worked its way to my consciousness. At that point, I knew I had to take heed to that voice. I went to the Bible and I found the scripture. And it really intrigued me to go backwards and understand the story that had taken place at that time. And I started wondering as I read through the whole chapter, why was David praying in such urgency and in such depth? So I went back and I saw the reason why. God had just revealed himself and had a conversation with the people and told them that he was not pleased with their behaviors. You know, they were just living their everyday life and making mistakes and sacrificing sheep, cattle. And God said, I don't want those things. I want you to pray and ask for forgiveness. It's instant in the next chapters where David goes into asking God to forgive him. I'll read just a tad bit of Psalms chapter 51. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion. Blot out my transgressions, wash away all my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you only, have I sinned, and done what is evil in your sight. So you are right in your verdict and justified when you judge. Surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. Yet you desire faithfulness even in the womb. You taught me wisdom in that secret place. Cleanse me with the hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Hide your face from my sins and blot out my iniquity. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. I started thinking about that because I said, David didn't make any excuses. He immediately followed God's orders. But in that time, believe it or not, David had people behind him that were in quick pursuit to capture him. He had committed adultery and he's had done some other things. People started to judge David and call out everything that he had done. David was at this time praying to God, and he also felt that he knew that the enemies were behind him and it was nothing that he could do. David then did something that we can all attest to. He went into prayer and started to pray that his enemies cannot harm him. He also began to repeat the promises that God had showed him. He remained faithful. The thing is that David started to realize that some people that were after him, that were leading the pack, were his friends. Now that's a hurtful thing when you know that your friend, somebody who you have fellowship with, could be leading the pack to capture you. David was in misery. He was troubled. And eventually he was captured. During this time where he was captured, his heart was pain and full of terror. David mentioned that he wished he had wings like a dove so that he could fly away. But he never lost faith in God. David asked God to deal with his enemies in violence. I thought that was interesting. David, he was facing betrayal. And at that time, it seemed like everybody had turned their back on him except for God. Just like the singer sang earlier, Mackenzie said, better days are coming. I thought about this as I was reading. David stayed steadfast. In the midst of all of the turmoil going on around him, he could hear God's voice and he continued to pray. And he knew God could redeem him that quick. But trust the mob, they were still in heavy pursuit. I looked up the definition of a mob. I knew what a mob was, but I wanted to get a clear understanding of what the text was saying. A mob is a large crowd of people, especially one that is disorderly and intent on causing trouble and violence. Has there been a mob up against you in your life? Have you ever felt like your back was up against the wall? Have you been up against a treacherous enemy? See, those folks in that mob, they had war in their hearts. They were destined to be David's judge, but God had other plans. David had already put the manner in God's hand, and God was sustaining him. Ultimately, David trusted his creator, and he was not disappointed. I thought about this story as similar to Daniel in the lion's den, similar to the assassination of Christ. Your enemy is going to always be in hot pursuit of you. Even in death, the enemy cannot win because your purpose has still been served. Your legacy will live on. Pray for your enemy and pray for your legacy. See, this story gave me strength. I knew why it was now on my subconscious brain and how it moved to my conscious brain. Because as we travel through this time of unforeseen changes and forks in the road, I'm asking God that, and our infinite creator, that he give us a clean heart and not a heart of war, not a heart of judgment. Oftentimes, we react out of our emotions without considering what the creator has done for us and what peace we can get when we just pray or we meditate. It doesn't matter what you believe in. If you believe in the law of attraction universal God, infinite God, no God, fate, luck, nothing. When you place positivity in the universe, it will not return void. I saw so much of me in David. I've made mistakes. I've hurt people. I've lied. I've stole. I've talked about people. But God can use you when you're dirty, and he can clean your heart, and he can give you a new slate. And he never gets tired of showing up at the perfect time. I hope this message has resonated with some of you, and I thank you for your time.
Praise is what I do when I wanna get close to you. I lift my hands in praise. Praise is who I am. I will praise you while I can. I will bless you at all times. I vow to praise you through the good and the bad. I praise you, whether happy or sad. I praise you in all that I go through, because praise is what I do. 'Cause I owe it all to you. Praise is what I am, what I'm going through. I lift my hand in praise. Oh, my circumstance doesn't even give a chance. I'll bless my ways the best. I vow to praise you through the good and the bad. I praise you, whether happy or sad. I praise you with all that I go through, because praise is what I do. 'Cause I owe it all to you. Hey, praise is what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. Praise is what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. And you should too. Praise is what I do. Lord, that's what I do. When I don't know what to do, that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. And you should too. Praise is what I do. It's what I do. When I don't know what to do, I praise you. you in my mind and in my soul. I praise you, Lord. Praise is what I do. That's what I do.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ashanti. And now Mariah will have our benediction.
As we move forward in the week, let us cleanse our hearts and be able to have a peace of mind. Go in peace.
Amen.